My apartment is very bright. So, to continue my thought process, okay. There have been several posts throughout throughout YouTube that are being reposted from TikTok and from Instagram about we're never going to forgive them. We don't have time for that shit. We do not have the luxury of ostracizing fellow citizens for their piss poor choices. Yes, we all are well aware that is how we got into this mess. But the important point now is to lay down, is to get together and let them know, no. Resisting is standing up in a moment. Let me rephrase that. When we stand up together in a town hall and shout no, that feels relatively safe, even though there's heightened emotion. When we go on a protest in the streets in a peaceful way, and we're walking down the street, and we're in the areas that we say that we have been told that we are allowed to be in, we still feel, for the most part, relatively safe. All of those things are important, and we need to continue to do that in a very loud way. You need to continue to show up to every town hall that's offered, to around the capital of every state, en masse, where there's too many people to fill the building. You want it overflowing. You want hundreds of thousands of people outside as well, all protesting. And you want to have people being able to display or stream from what's going on inside to outside. You want that, because that makes the people who are on the fence about everything very, very nervous. We want them to understand they've made an egregious mistake. That matters to a point. As of this weekend, President Trump, I think I saw it on Sunday, and it kicked me in the gut. President Trump stood there in his daily fucking brief about signing orders with a bald-headed asshole next to him, saying that President Trump had written an order, had signed an executive order that stated only he or his DOJ could tell you or anyone else what the law actually is. That means, and they didn't put it in bald language because they don't have the balls to do that yet. What that means, what we can extrapolate from that, is President Trump is the one who's going to tell you what is the law, what is legal. And that executive order is broadly stated, and it didn't include the courts. The courts are its own separate entity. It's part of the judiciary branch. Okay? There's the DOJ. And how the DOJ goes along and connects all of the branches is, it is the part where the president is guided by laws. He can't do anything unless it's explicitly stated that it's within his power to do. Those powers are given to him by the Constitution, and then empowered a little bit furthermore by what Congress says he can do. And the laws that are put in place by Congress, and only by Congress, are then what the population follows and what the DOJ prosecutes or defends people regarding. The DOJ defends the administration against those who says they've gone too far, and then the courts, the judiciary, the judges decide whether that's true or not true. This is the step of coup. Control the money, control the law, and the final major step is controlling the people by force. We are Number 3 is coming up. We don't have the time, and my hand is shaking. We don't have the time to pussyfoot around here, people. We have barely got time for you to change your perception and open perspective into what people who have chosen wrongly in their latest voting obligation have done. Because that was 77 million people plus. And 30% of those people are hardcore MAGA red hat wearing folks that have now got about, I don't know, a whole bunch of them are regretting. They're regretting. 16% are rah-rahing. According to, numbers out there of what the Republican Party really breaks down into. The majority of the Republican Party is not for this bullshit. The majority of the Republican Party, the part that came into being, that I'm more angry at, are the guys who chose not to fucking vote Democrat to ensure that this didn't happen. They just didn't bother to vote. They thought about it. They agonized for some of them about it. And then they chose to do nothing. Those are the same as the Germans standing by, watching things happen, doing nothing, and not standing up to the brown shirts, not standing up to the more violent things happening, not standing up and demanding that their local people and magistrates get it together and stick with the Constitution. Or their whatever version that was back in the 30s for Germany. Because people think it's easier to just ignore it. That is a luxury. That is a first world luxury. That is a safely democratic luxury. Okay? That is not what we've got going on right now. Shift your perspective. Understand that they are going to also suffer. And that our strength is in numbers, and that numbers counts even people who have done something stupid and egregious. You do not have to forgive them. But like I said in the other video, you need to stand by them. Because it is the grace of what is all that's good and empathetic and compassionate. That doesn't mean their rights are any less because they've made this choice and made it difficult for everybody. It means that they understand now the gravity of something that they didn't want to listen to before because their perception, their perspective has now grown because they're perceiving what is actually going on. That is something to appreciate. Because it is the more that we stand with them and not ostracize them means that we don't piss them off to then turn around and join the other side and go, well, fuck it. Like the idiots who think that they might as well do the thing that they're accused of, even though they never did. We don't want to push them in the arms of the wrong side. We want to keep them on this side, the better side, the safer side, the democratic side. Because those people swiftly become and join the brown shirts that then become the black shirts, that then have arms and come against you, the person who kicked them and spit them when they were trying to say, I'm sorry, and rectify their mistake. It is not the time, and it is cutting our nose to spite our face, to kick those people down. It doesn't require your damn forgiveness. But it does require that you expand your own sense of compassion and perception to include their perspective of an individual who realizes they've done fucked up. Put your hand out, pull them forward, and you say, you got a lot of making up to do. We'll take care of you and deal with that aftermath after we stop what's going on right now. That's what we need to do. We don't want the other side to have more numbers. Granted, we will always outnumber the assholes. But we don't need to make it harder on ourselves. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know down below.